I don't know what's him. Ooh, that's what I found. Oh, that one sounds mad. I guess he's friendly. Oh, I see him. There's so many. Say hi to my fist. Ooh, probably that way. Ew, get away! I'm gonna hit the box. Do I take it? I didn't do a trick shot. What? That was...
We should have known that the ASP was a place. If we were going to bring it down, we'd need to disable its shield and find a rocket launcher. Hendricks had a bad feeling about this.
I got the weapon.
I knew we shouldn't be there.
I'm hit. Ah, I'm down. Don't worry, brother. I hit. Don't worry, shoot. Don't worry. Forget that one. Wait, my weapon. Now I'm gonna save up my phone. Wait. Ah! I'm going to hit the box to cover me. What? There's no way I'm going to survive this with this weapon. I'm going.
Coalescence. Enhance yourself for a better tomorrow. They'd been the forefront of technology, always wanting to improve the individual, the future of you.
What happened? What went wrong?
The Coalescence disaster happened. Virus 6115 spread throughout Singapore and strains popped up all over the world. Governments built these quarantine zones to house the undead.
Let's see.
A way for the populace to ignore what was happening.
Oh, we're both
10 years
girls.
on, and it had worked. We put it out of mind. Ignorance was bliss.
You're a girl, I'm a girl. Probably like.
What was so special about this operation?
It was supposed to be by the books. 5 years after our cybernetic augmentations, Hendricks and I were a well-oiled machine. Quarantine sweeps, recon, search and rescue. It's just what dead killers do. But we'd never been sent after one of our own before. John Taylor's systems had gone quiet. With our direct neural interface, we're
Wait, you're
hardwired
dead?
into Winslow Accord servers. Observation knew if you were dead or alive. For Taylor to be neither, that was unusual.
No! How did I?
We located an EMF source and uploaded it to Central. It was a 54 immortal audio log, detailing unusual activity coming from the server room at the lowest level of the building.
Why?
It couldn't have been more than a week old. Probably why Taylor's team had been sent to investigate. Hendricks activated a recon drone to scan for life. We picked up a signal coming from far below. As we stood there in the atrium, I felt like
Wait, you
Alice.
want me?
And we were about to jump down the rabbit hole.
Do I take it? It's easy. So why did she call this a rabbit hole? I finally got it right.
Our drone picked up activity ahead. We should have known we weren't alone down here.
Buster, watch out. Stay by the light. Oh. There's a gun. Can I get you? You mean revive you?
No, I'm already dead.
Oh.
That sucks.
Oh, you. Ah.
Alright, keep going, keep going. I'm gonna have to hit the box as soon as I get done.
When man fled the virus, they left behind thousands of active robots. Machinery abandoned with one directive: kill the dead. Years later, they're still killing. But with decrepit programming, somehow humans had been added to their kill list, indistinguishable from our brainless counterparts. The strange behavior was observed in multiple quarantine zones. Another nuisance for us to deal with while on recon. We moved on.
Oh, that one's off.
Yeah, that one's waiting to
Which one?
We reached the silo's floor, but the signal came from lower still. Below coalescence.
Where are you? Where are you?
Yeah, keep going there.
What happened to that one? Wait. From the graveyard. I'm just smacking them.
Oh, you take 2 shots.
I see some. That's one right there over here. I think it's the first.
Oh yeah, grab it, hurry up, to this one.
What? That one just popped from there. Over here by a circle. Have a good weapon spin to wrap. exactly you want. It's sensing something. Right here. What's the Easter egg? Tell me what's the Easter egg.
It's like remember that teddy that message?
Did you have any inkling of
The one that means
what
lost?
waited for you?
No.
Yeah, the trophies.
In hindsight, we should have put it together. But the fact of the matter, that day was supposed to be
How do I
like
do
any
it?
other.
Oh. I think I know why there's a teddy. No! I'm dead. I think I know why there's a teddy. Because there used to be a handshake where
It was just an Easter egg that trailed from the
What did you find below Coalescence?
how
A
do I
CIA
get rid
black
of that?
project. Project Corvus. Unknown to the world, and unknown to
Ooh,
most
couch.
people in the know.
You said-
As off the record as it got. A redacted footnote in Langley's history book. Part of me wishes we just turned back.
Why?
It would have been easier. For me. For Hendrix. For the world.
Is it such a bad thing? To want to be blissfully ignorant in the face of daunting adversity?
We didn't have a choice.
Those who find fate thrust upon them rarely do.
Is this the one with zombies? Just whack them.
The human testing lab. What awaited you there?
We found the truth. The cause of the disaster.
You are certain of this?
We didn't have the full picture. Not yet. But this was the source. We knew coalescence was where the virus originated, but residue of 6115 in the air left no doubt. This was where it all began. When the disaster happened, hundreds of thousands died instantly. And they were the lucky ones. Because when the rest of Singapore inhaled 6115, they changed. From the living into the living dead. These test subjects. They were linked together, connected with a direct neural interface. Their minds hardwired into the central server. Hendricks didn't like what he saw. You knew something was wrong. The same tech in our own heads made us what we were. It was down here in this room. We didn't know what happened, but the data didn't lie. Man did what man always does, messing everything up. We, the CIA, man, we created these things. We changed the world.
How do you mean, change the world?
The Winslow Accord and the Common Defense Pact. We'd been engaged in a Cold War for nearly a decade. 6115 changed that. When the dead walked among us, we set aside our differences. For all of your conflicts, you and your enemy had two things in common. You're both human, and you both want to stay that way.
Was this the source of the signal?
No, but it looked like Taylor had come through. Our answers were still further down.
How do I do it again?
Go over the D-pad. What's that?
I'm gonna get an Easter egg. I have. Let's go on even open. What does it? Why do zombies say Sam?
Oh man.
Oh no. That's the hard part.
Alright, hold on, wait for me, cause let me go through there. Come on. Ready? 1,
2, 3.
yeah. Come on, hurry. Give me a shot.
Where's the other guy? Is he not? What? More zombies? box here if you need it. Come on! What are you waiting for? We're safe.
When you found the server room, did you have any idea what you would uncover?
We couldn't have known. We found Sebastian Diaz. One of Taylor's. Another dead killer. Our friend. He'd linked himself to the CIA server, connected directly with the Winslow Accord systems. He was deactivating defenses for the undead quarantine zones all over the world. The massive walls containing the spread, keeping us from the undead. Deactivating the defenses would let the flesh-eating hordes loose upon the living. It would end humanity. We had to stop him. The only way to stop him now is by destroying the server.
Wait, there's like a box. But where are the boxes? Stay down. Stay down. Go back to the dead. I'll handle with the zombies. Die. Come on. So many zombies. You know what would be perfect right now? The music. Oh, where are those? Oh. Up there. Wait, are there stage 4? Oh. One foot. But there is no Cyberman. Oh. Come on. Ooh, max ammo. Go back to the dead. Wait, you're doing it again? Until there's no more of those things? Wait, is this where he dies? Yeah, it's definitely where someone died. Oh, sorry. Oh, okay, I got one of those things again on accident. I was trying to get it. Mine doesn't work. Or do like pieces. No, it's not. Do you want me to do it again? So we had to go to the last one and it would stop.
You killed him. Your friend.
He left us no choice. Hendricks wasn't happy and let Diaz know that. He'd unleashed the dead upon the world. Hendricks knew what he had to do.
You needed to find out what he knew. What he knew about Taylor.
Interfacing with Diaz and accessing his memories was the only way to find him.
Knowing what you know about DNI, interfacing would surely kill him.
That didn't matter. We had to know. Had I known what it would do to Hendricks. From the interface, Hendricks learned Taylor was trying to get out of Singapore. There wouldn't be much time before we'd be too late.
Tell me about the name. The name Hendricks learned.
The name. Deimos. The demigod of dread and terror.
Oh, the demigod.
Hendricks, myself, we had no idea what it meant, but Taylor's team was obsessed with it. But more importantly, we learned our arrival on site wasn't a secret. We had company. Go Julan, leader of the 54 Immortals. The Winslow Accord had no quarrel with them. To their credit, they had no idea we were down there. Had they known... well, I'm not sure things would have gone any differently. The Immortals had worried for years about another outbreak. This was the final straw, and contamination was a risk they weren't willing to take. We needed to move and get out of there.
kill off the thing. Oh, there's max ammo, get it. Hey, did you see that? No. It was like a zombie shooting last time. Only this is from the sewers.
We needed to get out of there before the whole building collapsed. Hendricks had an
Oh,
idea.
let me guess.
Flood the lab
It's
and
not
let the water
Silent Hill.
pressure jettison us out. Our lungs could take it. He just needed time to open the door.
Ah,
One up here, yeah.
where?
Up here, so up. Can't swim up here. Watch out. It's close.
Swim up.
Wait, watch out. There's a new album.
But you weren't.
And what happened then?
We got through it. We survived.
Yay.
And we also needed to get the hell out of Singapore. All right,
What?
Salim. I told you how this began. Now tell me why. How do I stop Deimos if I'm dead?
Your body is dead, but your mind remains alive. I'm connected through your direct neural interface in your subconscious. To save humanity, you must open the portal. With your body gone, the only way to do this is to train your mind.
Train my mind.
Relive the events.
Like training zombies?
So this mission has something to do with the train, man.
Oh, the vitamin?
I know this one. This is like the second mission.
Think back to 2065. You're on a train in Switzerland.
I'm heading toward downtown Zurich.
On Taylor,
That's him. Commander John Taylor. The first dead killer. The definition of determination. I was a rookie then. Fresh blood. There weren't many of us. There were more rumors about our division than actual recruits. They said we were engineered to be immune to 61.
Started like half robots?
Alright, so now
Yay, we're humans. Wait, where are we? I see someone. Oh, this is good. Yeah, I'm coming. Wait, are we still live? Streaming?
What are these drops I keep seeing? I saw them in Coalescence too.
It is your mind trying to help you through your memories. Weapons, abilities, powers. Use them or don't, but they may offer you a temporary advantage. Where did Diaz take you next?
We still have to get to the factory entrance.
So this like the from the regular campaign? There's so many zombies. Come on. What are things on? Oh. When you kill zombies, they drop. Oh, train them. Train them in the factory. Cause there's no one. Stop. Pound that, pound that, pound. Ooh, I didn't know that was wrong. Oh, watch out. Found. Oh, here's the gasoline. Get him out here. Are you ready? Bring them all over here.
The entrance was locked. We had to destroy a generator to get it open. That was around the corner, with more dead standing in our way. I had an arsehole in front of me, but Diaz made it clear. He told me to run point on the ground. He was curious to see me think on my feet.
In a way, he was acting as your training.
Diaz wanted me to earn the name Dead Killer. And there's really only one way you can do that. I had support that day, but when you're out there in the real world, you're on your own. No backup, no reinforcements. Just you and the undead. I'm sure I was worthy of the name.
Oh, I like these tanks. No, I want to be a drone. Bum, bum, banana, bum, banana. Bum. Bum, 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 bum. Bounce, bounce. Oh, there's a cyberphone thing, if you want it. Or do you want me to get it? Oh.
The Cotardis base of operations was just ahead. Once we were inside, we'd be able to figure out what they were planning.
Oh yeah, this is from there. Oh no. Come on. Good. Ah. Oh, it's closed. Then what?
Dr. Salim, what's happening? I can't...
No, stay with me. Come back to my voice.
I can't. I don't understand.
Tell me what happened.
I saw... I don't know. They were ripping me...
Oh, that is...
We were ready to breach, but it didn't go as planned. He was ready. I had to answer him. Our mark was going to release 6115 into the surrounding area.
Remember, walk before you run. You weren't alone. Who else was there? Taylor?
Taylor. Yes, he discovered our mark had just unleashed the virus into Old Town, turning civilians into the living dead. But Taylor didn't leave that day. No, he had Overwatch. He was our eyes in the sky. Sarah Hall, however... Sarah Hall, the team's intelligence expert, was with me. She had point. She found our mark. Apparently his supply of 6115 was 10 times what we initially believed. Enough to turn all of Zurich into a city of the dead. Hall had been with Taylor as long as Diaz. He practically raised her, trained her. He made her. With Taylor in the sky, Hall was our feet on the ground. She didn't have as much patience for fresh blood as Diaz. She was direct and focused. And right now, she was about to give me a lesson in target acquirement.
civilian? What happens if you do?
This guy didn't mess around. He had DNI just like us. He was hijacking any robotics he could, sending them after us.
I got no ammo. I need to get revived.
What happened when you caught him?
Our Mark was bleeding out after that fall through the ceiling. Time wasn't on our side, and we needed information.
So what did you do?
I would do what Hendrix did in Coalescence. I had to interface with him, extract the info.
Yeah, I'm in the stream here though.
Are we done with that mission?